Thanks for staying with us. Government is going after some contractors who failed to complete projects awarded to them under the Agenda 111 project. Well, let's get more on that. Joining me in studio now is Manasseh Atta-Boahene, his government spokesperson on the economy. Thank you, Manasseh, for spending some time with us here on The Pulse. Clearly, a couple of days ago, it was yesterday actually, we saw the team move to assess how government is faring with the implementation of the Agenda 111. It's shocking to learn that some individuals who were awarded the contracts are not delivering as expected.
Very good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our cherished viewers. Indeed, yesterday was important for the government to deliver on its promise of updating Ghanaians on the progress of the work on the Agenda 111 hospital projects. And as we all know, government was able to provide updates on some 54 hospital projects, and we were able to visit 33 so far. And so we decided to do the press briefing from Trede in the Ashanti region where it all began for the nation to know how far we've come with the various projects. Concerning your specific question, it is indeed true that 3 contracts have been terminated, and the reasons are simply because most of these contractors are behind schedule. We've had issues with contract timelines, and once there is a timeline for the project, there are no issues with money. And so we do not see why...
Are you saying that for a fact, or you're saying it because these contractors are not delivering?
I am saying that for a fact, that there are no issues with money. Money is available, and so we do not see why some of the contracts will be delaying. And that's how come government has had to sit with some of these contracts to even terminate their contracts to ensure we are able to bring the projects up to speed, to ensure we are able to complete. So it's good news for us to visit these sites and to know the progress of these Agenda 111 hospitals. We are confident that by December this year, we'll be able to commission about 45 of them. Okay,
take us through the status and what we know so far about the regions, I mean, the percentage of completion, and as you, the politicians, would say, the work is still in the pipeline. So just update us on what you've done so far. Have you completed at least one out of any of the projects that were started?
Yeah, we've not completed any as of now, but the good news is that most of them are at various stages of completion. The Agenda 111, for example, is at 61%, and we are confident that going forward, before the end of the year, we'll be able to complete it. We have grouped the projects into 8 zones for easy purposes of monitoring and supervision. And for the Zone 1, we have regions: Central Region, Western North Region, Ahafo, and Bono Region. We have 11 districts, 11 district hospitals which are under construction. And we have 1 regional hospital for the Zone 1. For Zone 2, we have Central Region, Eastern Region, and the Western Region. It also has 11 district hospitals under construction with 1 regional hospital. Then for Zone 3, we have Greater Accra Region and the Eastern Region. This zone has 14 district hospitals, with 1 regional psychiatric hospital. Then for Zone 4, we have Greater Accra again and Uti Region. Then for Zone 5, we have Upper West Region, Northern Region, and Savannah Region with 12 district hospitals and 1 regional hospital. Then for Zone 6, we have the Upper East Region, the Northern Region, and the Upper and the Northeast Region. So Upper East Region, Northeast Region, and the Northern Region for Zone 6. Then for Zone 7, we have Volta and Bono East with 11 district hospitals and 1 regional hospital. Then for Zone 8, we have Ashanti Region with 15 district hospitals and 1 regional hospital, as well as 1 regional psychiatric hospital.
So what you're telling us now is that, various stages of completion, that's the term you're using.
Exactly.
For now. Exactly. And you're hopeful that all of this will be completed when?
We hope that by December, we would have completed about 45 of them. So that's the time.
Based on?
Based on the progress of the work thus far. So for example, when you go to Trifohiman, you realize that the work over there is around 58.9% near completion. When you go to Ewutu Senya, the work progress is around 55.5%. And most of these have their structures even roofed. Yes, there are a lot of work to be done concerning plastering, but some of them are roofed. Some of them too are at the lintel level. And so we are confident that given the speed of work on site, by December this year, we'll be able to complete and commission about 45 of them.
And we need to know this. Are you aware that the president's timeline has elapsed?
Indeed, indeed. You know, we commissioned this, or we started this project with a timeline of 18 months. But given what has happened we are unable to do it. What we have done is to review the contracts we have had with a lot of the contractors to find out why some of the projects have delayed. Of course, it is trite knowledge that some of the areas had issues with site. We couldn't get land to even commence the project. But as we speak, we've been able to resolve some of the issues. Bantama, for example, had issues of that nature. And so because of that, we put a double stack building or a story building over there. And so, yes, we accept that our timelines, we've not been able to reach them. But given the speed of work on the various sites we have visited so far, we are very confident that once we do not have challenge with money or finances, by December, we'll be able to commission about 45 of them.
Okay. Why should we believe the assurances you're giving us, particularly when we know that you've given us the first timeline, you've gone way past that? I mean, we've gone way beyond the deadline. So why should we trust you this time around?
Very simple, based on the progress of work. So when you
so is the problem from the contractors or from government?
I mean, from the contractors. I've maintained that we've not had issues with money.
Okay.
Because when looking at the updates from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, money is always available for these projects. And as a contractor, if you perform or if you build up to a certain point, you present or you tender in your certificate for your money. And so money is not an issue. And given the speed of work at the various sites, the 54 updates we have given so far, with some of the buildings being roofed, with some at the lintel level, we are very confident that once we do not have issues with money, the contractors too have given us their word that they are working with a high level of speed to ensure we are able to commission about 45 of them.
So you're not blaming the contractors?
I am saying that the issue, of course, has had to do with some of the contractors. The reasons why they were behind
not
exactly
all.
Because some of them are far advanced in what they are doing.
Yeah.
Some with their work, they are around 61%, others a little above 50%, a lot of them in their 60s. And so it is surprising to find out that some contractors up to today have not even done anything yet. Some, when you look at the rate of work they have done on site, it is unacceptable, to say the least. And so we are confident that given the speed of work that most of the contractors have done on site, that we have had a chance to inspect, to see for ourselves, we know that once there are no issues with money, they will be able to complete them by December this year. 45 of them.
45?
45, yes.
Okay, so that'll be 45 out of
45 out of the 88.
When do you intend to complete the rest?
Next year. Next year. So the contractors are different. We have different. In fact, for one site, you could even find 3 or even 4 contractors. And so everybody has his or her target. We are confident that if you're able to complete the 45 this year, moving into next year, we'll also be able to expedite work to complete the rest.
So the next will be done, the next batch, about 40 of them next year?
Next year. You see, all the projects are ongoing. But because some have reached, for example, Trader is at 61%. So if Trader is at 61% and another project is at 30%, it's highly possible for the work at Trader to be completed before that of the other project, which is around 30%. And so all the works are ongoing in all the 88 sites, and we are confident that we would complete about 45 of them. It may not be possible for us to complete and commission all of them at the same time, but we know that by December, we will be able to complete and commission 45 of the agenda.
Okay, let's talk about these 3 contractors that we're learning of, who are nowhere to be found. Is that the best description to use for them? Where are they and why are you looking for them?
Government has had issues with their contract. There's been issues of delay. They were unable to meet construction timelines. And given the speed of work government wants, government is unable to continue with the contract with them. And so we've had to cancel the contract and re-award the contract to new contractors. And as we speak, all these new contractors are on site. So
why are you after them then, if you've given the contract to someone else?
Because there are issues with contract. And so in the contract clause, there will be issues. If you have issues of non-performance, I'm sure there will be a clause in there for...
You are sure or you know about it?
I know.
I'm asking you because you put out a statement that, well, we can't find them, we don't know where they are. But these are businesses that are supposed to be dealing with government. So how come that you're still looking for them as of now?
So we are looking for them because we had a contractual agreement with them. And once they are unable to meet those timelines, it's important for us to look for them and see what the law provides in that regard. We would
do we know the facilities which they were, expected to construct? Which areas they fall under and which of the zones that you have put, the zones that you've put out on the show now, do we know which of them, which zone they fall under?
No, I don't know this. I only know that, for example, the Yasin North construction, the Yasin North Agenda 111 had issues, and so we had to cancel the contract and re-award it to someone else. For the rest, I'm not too sure.
Okay, so this is for Yasin North. When do you intend to resume work on the Yasin North?
Work has begun.
Okay, so you've given that to another person.
Exactly. So for all the 3 contracts that have been cancelled, we have re-awarded them, and the contractors are on site as we speak.
So where's the Yasin North contractor gone to?
I know he's on site.
Oh no, that's the new one.
That's the new
the
one.
previous
the
person.
old one.
Yes.
It will be difficult for me to tell, but whatever be the case, government will.
So why are you okay? So the point is, if you've given it to a new person, why not rather pile pressure on the new person to complete the project?
That's what the new person is doing. We had issues with the old contractors with these 3 contracts that have been cancelled. There were issues of non-performance. There were issues of timelines that were not met. There were issues of standards, performance standards that were not met.
Okay.
And so government had to cancel the contracts for these contracts to be re-awarded to new contractors. And these new contractors are on site as we speak to expedite the work.
All right. Let's look at the Yasin North area. When did you award this new contract to the contractor?
I don't have these fine details, but I am aware it has been re-awarded and the contractor is on site.
So, how then do we believe that indeed you've given that to a new contractor? Because the paperwork have to speak for itself.
Of course, I can solicit for the paperwork for you, but I know that it has been taken off the old contractor and it has been given to a new one so that we'll be able to meet the timelines. As you mentioned, government's timeline of 18 months wasn't been able to be fulfilled because of the issues we have with contractors. And so going forward, the government has demonstrated a high level of commitment to ensure that any contractor who is not working up to speed will be taken off the contract so that we'll be able to finish all these projects on time.
Next year is your target of completing the entire project. Are you not doing this for the elections?
Oh, not at all. We believe that this Agenda 111 is the single, what's the name, most important health infrastructure project in the history of this country. And it is sad to know that today as we speak, some districts do not have hospitals. And the COVID also exposed the inefficiencies in our health sector. And so government is very much committed to ensure that across the various districts that do not have district hospitals, we are able to put up this health infrastructure to serve the people over there so that when someone has to benefit from the services of these hospitals, the person wouldn't have to travel far and wide to a regional hospital. So we are committed to ensuring we are able to work on this as soon as possible. Okay.
You have any final words for our viewers?
Yeah, so my final words is that government has begun the updates on the Agenda 111. And as we speak, 88 of these projects are ongoing. We've been able to provide updates on 54 of them. And we are confident that by end of year, we'll be able to commission 45 of them. We had issues. Some people were saying Agenda 111 is only a rhetoric. There is nothing. In fact, some people were confident enough to say that you can never find anywhere in this country where a structure, a hospital is being put up under Agenda 111. And so it was important for government to update the nation for everyone to see. And these are verifiable projects. You can visit Trede, you can visit Ewutu Senya, you can visit Ofuasi, you can visit all the others.
But you haven't completed any of them?
We haven't. We are confident that once most of them are around 60% completion, by end of year, December, we'll be able to complete 45.
Okay, so until December, it's fair for anyone to say you failed in delivering on your mandate?
We have not failed. We have not failed in the sense that today, when you visit all the 88 sites, you would see structures, most of which have been roofed, most of which are at the lintel level. And so there is something for us to lay hold on, that yes, this is the Agenda 111 project, just that we've not been able to complete any. Right. That's why we are confident that going forward, we will put the contractors in check. They are responsible for the work they put out there. And so once government has provided finances to ensure you're able to build on time, we don't see why they will delay government and the people of Ghana of this health.
Why is it that government is still waiting for these Agenda 111 projects when we have facilities completed. For instance, I recall my colleague Ohimin Tewia in the Ashanti region making, this full report on the regional hospital that is supposed to be built for, I guess that's for the people of the Ashanti region. That facility is rotting away. You have facilities that you're building now, which you have not completed. You're hoping to complete them, 40 of them, in December, and you're letting the rest to rot away.
I mean, government is concerned with every infrastructure in this country, even the ones that were not started, that we didn't start. So what government is doing is to ensure that every district would have one hospital. Of course, Confanoche, for example, we have the maternity block, 44-year-old, it was pulled down. Yeah. And when you look at the speed of work over there, it is quite amazing. Government is putting in more resources to ensure we are able to finish that on time. And so every project that is stuck in the bush or whatever, government would pay more attention to.
Yes, but these are projects that are completed. It's not as though you're waiting for someone to come in.
Which area?
Oh, for instance, the one Ohiming did, I'll get the name for you, but it's one of the hospitals. I get it's one of the facilities that started under the NDC administration. Okay. It's been finished up, and we're just waiting that you open it up. This should be the Ashanti region. Yes, correct.
Well, I'm not aware. I mean, if we knew where the hospital was, I think it would have advanced the conversation. I'm not too sure of any hospital of this.
So if I get you the name, you'll get us some updates on
it. Yes, I can. I mean, the next time we'll have this conversation, I'm sure I'll be able to.
What if I give that to you now?
Yeah, I mean,
So I'm just making that point about the broader challenge we have. The fact that your government is allowing or letting the rest that were completed under a certain regime over the years past to rot away, and you're spending money on Agenda 111, which is not even complete. Open the rest. Why not?
I'm saying we've not been able to mention any one of them. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying if we were able to mention the area where this hospital is being sited, then of course we'll be able to know the speed of work over there. But government wants to ensure that in every district, you see, sometimes it's difficult. Trede, for example, when you live at Trede, and you want to access Confanoche, if you go through if you go through Brofedu, Kokobeng, the traffic alone, if someone has an emergency and you want to transport the person from Trede, going through Kokobeng, Santase, roundabout to Confanoche, I'm sure it will be terrible because the traffic situation is worse. That's why government wants to ensure that in every district of which there is no district hospital, government will have to put up one hospital over there so that it will reduce the traveling time. You wouldn't have to travel far and wide to access these hospitals. And the employment opportunities Agenda 111 will come with are so huge, providing opportunities for doctors, nurses, caterers, and a lot more. And so,
what timeline do you have to opening the pre-existing ones which have not been commissioned? That's the question.
Yeah, so I wish you could mention.
Is it that you don't have a fine timeline on when you intend to open some of these other facilities that may have been completed?
Yes, but if you're able to mention the facilities. I'm also interested because I'm from the Ashanti region. Okay. Yeah, so I wish I could know.
I'm sure my producers will just get that for you. It's one of the hospitals, yes.
Up to see if indeed the facility has been completed, and we need to commission. We'll see how best we'll be able to.
For instance, there's the military hospital that's being built in is it the Afari, or is that the name of the facility, for instance? That one, for instance, was started way before the Agenda 111. You still not tackled that hospital, for instance. So I'm trying to make the point that there are projects before, and yet you haven't dealt with them.
Yes, and I'm saying that, you see, the aim of government is to ensure that every project, whether it's completed or not, will be able to work on it very fast. I mean, when the structures are being completed, the installations alone is quite huge and it's capital intensive as well. And so if there is a thing of the sort, I'm sure the Health Service and the Ghana Infrastructure Fund and the government at large is aware and will move in with speed to ensure we are able to bring in more equipment.
But for now, you don't have any plans of opening these hospitals?
I mean, once we're able to put in more equipment into the hospital, we'll be able to open it. So that's what government is looking at, to ensure that if indeed the Afari hospital is being completed, we'll look at ways in which we'll be able to bring in more hospital equipment.
Right.
To open.
But you don't have a plan now to say, okay, we'll open pre-existing ones. There's no timeline for that.
What I'm saying is that once a hospital has been built, the aim of this government is to ensure that we are able to bring in more equipment to see the hospital running, to serve the needs of the Ghanaian people. And so if that is done, government is working hard at it to ensure that very soon we'll be able to open the hospital.
Okay then, grateful that you've been able to spend some time with us.